Students, today I am going to study a new chapter, measurement and motion. Have you traveled by a metro? Do you use it to come to school? Do all the students come to school by the same way? Those who like live near very to the school might be walking to school. Some might be using bicycles, rickshaws, scooters, and cars. Those who live far might be coming by bus. If you have to visit some other city, you might travel by car, bus, train, or aeroplane. Scientists travels to moon in a spacecraft as moon is very far from us and spacecraft moves very fast. Why is a particular mode of transport chosen for every journey? We'll go for the history of the transport. The earliest man moved only on foot. Then animals were domesticated and they carried men and goods from place to place. For traveling on water, wooden logs with a hollow cavity in them were used. Gradually, man learned to join logs and to make rafts. Wooden planks were also used to make boats. Used to make boats. The invention of wheel made land transport easier. Now vehicle could be made which could be pulled by animals. In 19th century the steam engine was invented and it made a big change in the way people travel. Carriages, rails, boats could all be driven by steam engines. This made travel very fast. Instead of modern engines instead of steam, modern engines use fuels like petrol, diesel, CNG, etc. Some engines even run on electricity. What makes metro train fun? What makes metro trains run? Next we are going to discuss about measurement. What is when you buy shoes for yourselves? When you buy shoes for yourself, how do you know which size shoe is to buy? Shopkeeper measures your foot. Similarly, a carpenter measures the height and width of the cupboard before making its door. Size of the shoe, height, width, all deal with measurement of distance between 2 points. The physical quantity associated with the measurement of distance between 2 points is called length. Measurement is the comparison of an unknown quantity with a known fixed quantity called unit. It determines the number of times physical quantity is related to unit. Our forefathers used different parts of their body to measure length, distance of a step, the width of a finger, the length of the finger angul. For some of the widely used length, measuring length and their corresponding units. The distance between the tip of the thumb and the tip of the little finger of a stretched open hand is called an hand span. Length of a foot is called as a foot. Distance between the end of the outstretched arm and the chin is called a yard. Arm's length from elbow to fingertip is called cubit length. Length of a step, a pace. These methods of measuring length were not satisfactory because the arm, foot and hand span varied from one person to other person. Next, they went for standard units for uniformity and convenience. For uniformity and convenience. For uniformity and convenience. For uniformity and convenience. For uniformity and convenience, a common unit is used for measurement of a physical quantity. For accurate measurement, we need some standard representation of every physical quantity. Such a chosen standard is called standard unit. For every chosen standard, there will be an SI unit or standard unit with which the other lengths are compared. A standard unit is a standard measure that has some definite and convenient quantity so that it remains the same under all conditions. In the old days, the length of the body part of the king was taken as a standard to maintain uniformity. Still, it was not enough. Till the 19th century, various countries devised and used their own system of units. So there were many such units for the same physical quantities. It was quite confusing as it had no uniformity all over the world. In 1960, it was recommended that a common system called International System of Units (SI system) should be used all over the world. Under this system, units are divided into two types: fundamental units, derived units. There are 7 basic units for physical quantities. Length, which is unit is meter, symbol is m, mass kilogram kg, time second s, temperature Kelvin k. Derived units, the units which are derived from these fundamental units are called as derived units. For example, area and volume are derived from length, area of a square, side into side, volume of a cube, length into breadth into height, measurement of length. Next, measurement of length. Length is measured as the distance between 2 points or objects. The standard unit for measuring length is a meter and which is written as m. Thus, the measured value consists of two parts, a numerical value and the unit of measurement used. The length of the table is 3 meter. It means that meter length is repeated 3 times. Length is measured as the distance from which 2 points or objects. Distance between 2 points or objects. The standard unit for measuring length is meter. It is written as m. Thus, the measured value consists of two parts, a numerical value and the unit of measurement used. The length of a table is 3 meter. It means that a meter length is repeated 3 times. For measurement of larger quantities, multiples of fundamental units are used. For example, the distance between two cities will be very large if it is measured in meters. Therefore, a multiple of meter or a kilometer is used, which is equal to 1000 meters. Similar to measure small quantities, submultiples of fundamental units are used. For example, length of a pencil box is measured in centimeters, which is 100th part of a meter, or 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. 10 millimeter 1 centimeter, 10 centimeter 1 decimeter, 10 decimeter 1 meter, 1000 meters 1 kilometer. A simple way to remember this conversion table is this line: milli c deci में दी का है किलो, मिली सी देसी में दे का है किलो, milli c deci में दे का. When you move away from left to right, multiply each by 10. When you move from right to left, divide each by 10. Next, instrument used for measuring length. There are many instruments used to measure length, like rulers, measuring tapes, etc. It depends upon the type of work and accuracy that is needed. For example, for measuring small units in length in geometry, we require a 15 centimeter long scale provided in the geometry box. Measuring tape, which is flexible, is used by a tailor to take our body measurement like that of our chest, waist and other body parts. A meter scale is used by cloth merchant. Stiff steel measuring tape is used by masons, carpenters and civil engineers. Masons, carpenters and civil engineers. We can measure very small lengths by using special instruments like vernier capillars, screw gauge, push diagram, screw gauge. The details about the methods to use the instruments will be discussed in higher classes. Using meter scale to measure length correctly. It is important that the measurement is done correctly. There are 3 possible errors which may occur while using a meter scale. If the scale is not placed exactly along the length being measured, a wrong reading will be obtained. It is therefore necessary the scale is placed exactly along the length being measured. Proper placement of scale can lead to errors. Improper placement of scale can lead to errors. And next is parallax error. An error can occur due to the wrong position of the eye while taking the reading. This error is called parallax error. This error can be avoided by placing the object in such a way that the eye is exactly above the point where the measurement is to be taken. The parallax error occurs to the wrong position of the eye. This error is called parallax error. This error can be avoided by placing the object in such a way that the eye is exactly where measurement is to be taken. In case of damaged zero mark of the scale, the portion of the scale near the zero mark may be worn out. So in order to measure the length of object, we usually do not start from zero mark of the scale. In such cases, we use any other full mark of the scale. Then we must subtract this reading from the, for example, in figure A, the length of the block is 7 minus 1 6 centimeter. Can you measure the length of the block? Is in the figure B, it is 8. Measuring small thickness. To measure small thickness of a page of your notebook, to measure the thickness of a coin, we cannot use meter scale directly. How do we measure a small? This is shown in the following activity. To measure the thickness, a thick book and a scale. Count the total pages of the book. Measure the total thickness of pages with a scale. Note your observation. Total number of pages divided by total thickness of the page. So thickness of page is total thickness of the book divided by total number of pages. The thickness of one page will be given. How do you measure the length of a curved line? The length of the curved line can be done using thread. Using a thread, put a knot near one end of the thread. Place the knot at the beginning of the line and press it with your thumb. Place the portion of the thread along the curved line and press it with the forefinger. Keeping your finger pressed, move the thread along the same portion of the line. Repeat the steps 3 and 4 to trace the entire length of the curved line. Thread reaches the end of the line, put a mark on it. Straight out the thread on the scale and measure its length as shown in the figure B. As shown in the figure, the length of the given curved line has been measured as found to be. Next, extend motion. Observe a clock carefully. Note the position of the clock and the position of its minute and wait for 5 minutes. Again note the positions of both. Which of them is same position? Which of the two has its same position? Which of the two has changed its position? If an object does not show any change in its position with the time, it is said to be stationary or at rest. Since the clock did not change its position, it is said to be at rest. Change the position only if somebody lifts it. If an object changes its position with time, it is said to be moving or in motion. The minute hand changes its position in 5 minutes, therefore it is said to be moving. Now if you flatten your palm and place the clock on this palm, take a few steps, are you now in motion? What about the clock continues to be at same place on your palm. It is now at rest or in motion. The clock is rest with respect to you but is in motion. Motion is always observed and measured with respect to frame of reference. When we walk, we change our position with respect to the floor. It is at rest. The fan is at rest, whereas its blades are in motion. When you sit in a moving bus, you are at rest with respect to bus, but moving with respect to the objects outside. The clock continues to be in the same place on your person. It is now at rest or in motion. The clock is at rest with respect to your body but in motion with respect to other objects in the room. Motion is always observed with respect to a frame of reference. When we walk, we change your position with respect to the floor, which is at rest. The fan is at rest, whereas its blades are in motion. When you sit in a moving bus, you are at rest but respect to the bus, but you are moving with respect to. We will discuss the types of motion. The motion in which all the particles of a body move through equal distances in a given time is called translatory motion. The motion in which all the particles of a body move through equal distances in equal time. Moving car, a ball sliding slow, a man walking on the road. Translated motion of two types: rectilinear motion. If your body moves in a straight line, it is said to be in rectilinear motion. An athlete running a 100-meter race, a child going down a slide, a car moving on a straight road, also rectilinear. Next, if a body moves along curved path, it is said to be curvilinear motion. When walking on a curved road, motion of pencil while drawing a circle, a car taking circular mode, car taking a turn. Circular motion, the body of a motion is in circular path around a fixed point, it's called axis. It's called revolution. It is called revolution. The body is said to revolve. The earth revolves around the sun, the moon revolves around the earth. When a body undergoes translational motions and the way that its parts cover different distances at different distance in a given set of rotatory motion. The blades of one, a spinning top, a Ferris wheel, and have rotatory motion. Irregular motion of a body in which the direction of motion is not fixed is random motion. Movement of football player on the court, flitting of butterfly, motion of an ant. When a body moves to and fro about a fixed point, then it is said to be in oscillatory motion. It is said to be oscillatory motion. Sometimes the whole object does not show to and fro motion, but a part of it shows. Such a motion is termed as vibratory motion. String of a guitar, only strings show to and fro motion, so it is termed as vibratory motion. During motion, a change in shape and size takes place. When the same motion repeats itself after equal interval of time, it is called as periodic motion. Oscillation of pendulum, the revolution of Earth around the sun, the movements of hands of a clock, the movements of hands while beating a drum. Uniform motion and non-uniform motion. The motion of a particle is said to be uniform. It moves along a straight line. It covers equal distance equal interval of time. Non-uniform motion of a particle is said to be non-uniform. It covers unequal distance in equal intervals of time. It covers equal distance in unequal intervals of time. Motion of a car on a crowded road. Butterfly moving from flower to flower. Thank you, students.